brilliantly managing Nutty Putty's risks, a terrifying event would soon change everything. Their preparedness couldn't account for human nature. It was a chilly Tuesday, just before Thanksgiving. The brothers, accompanied by family and friends, ventured deep into the Nutty Putty cave. They embarked on their journey, unaware of what awaited them in the cavern. What started as a routine caving trip soon took an unforeseen twist, propelling them into a relentless race against a ticking clock. The group explored a large chamber called the Big Slide. Later, John and Josh, along with two friends, broke off to find a more challenging passage known as the Birth Canal, which is tight but navigable. They split up, wriggling into alcoves and passages to look for it. With excitement, John took the lead and picked a waist-high hole to explore, squeezing himself through the tight confines. John and his brother Josh were still determined to conquer this challenge. They navigated through tight spaces, squeezed through narrow passages, and tolerated the damp and claustrophobic conditions. As John pushed forward, he believed he was somewhere in the Birth Canal, but he somehow took a wrong turn and actually entered an unmapped section of the cave near Ed's Push. Within minutes, he realized he'd made a grave mistake. John had veered off course, seeing what he thought was a larger opening on the other side. He tried to squeeze in head first, pushing himself along with his hips, his stomach, and fingers. John realized he was now just about stuck, with no room to turn around and unable to wiggle back through the way he came. Pressing forward was now his only option. When he saw an opening that dropped nearly straight down in front of him, it may have appeared to widen out at the bottom, giving him a spot to turn around. But he had made another mistake and done something cavers are taught not to do. Despite his experiences, John went head first into a tight spot going downward. Although he had told Josh that he would turn around, things weren't going his way. In order to reach the opening, John exhaled the air in his lungs to be able to fit and slide over a lip of rock and down into the 10-inch wide side of the crevice. But when his chest expanded again while inhaling, he was stuck. Struggling to free himself only made John slide deeper into the narrower 8.5-inch wide side of the opening. With one arm pinned underneath him and the other forced backward by an outcropping of rock, he found himself helplessly wedged in an upside-down position at a daunting 70-degree angle. Trapped below the ground, John's caving instincts kicked in as he tried to remain calm. John knew things had slipped out of his control. With each passing moment, his hope dwindled, and the walls seemed to close around him. He struggled to free himself from a space that seemed to be no bigger than a monitor. Realizing that he was struggling against the forces of gravity and had